the vegetation fire.
The devastation of the deadliest wildfire in California state history. Tonight in part 2 of my report, we hear from my mom and sister describing the most terrifying time of their lives.
There's a fire in Paradise. No, there's not a fire in Paradise. There's a fire north of Concal up off of Highway 70.
Tonight, we reflect back on the Camp Fire. The totality of what happened in Paradise still hasn't really set in for so many of us. It was the deadliest fire ever in California, burning more than 153,000 acres and destroying nearly 14,000 homes.
That's right. The future of Butte County and the landscape of Paradise were forever changed 6 months ago today when that Camp Fire first broke out. On today's 6-month anniversary, a special series looking back on what was, what is, and what's next.
Oh my God.
911, are you calling about the smoke?
Yes.
There's a fire north of Concal off of Highway 70. No danger to Paradise at this time, okay?
I'm getting huge pieces
All I can
of
tell
ash.
you is what I'm telling you, okay?
There's more ash falling from the sky. We have big pieces of ash falling down everywhere.
We have eyes on the vegetation fire.
That community, some 20,000 people. And again, the fire has burned at minimum 1,000 acres, but I'm not even going to mention that estimate anymore because I have a suspicion has grown and grown far beyond 1,000 acres. There is no word on any containment.
1,000 vehicles in here.
Reporter Megan Mackey is following the fire this morning.
Cars are just bumper to bumper trying to get out.
My family frantically trying to get out of Paradise as it burned down around them.
It was frightening, and you're worried for your neighbors. Please, Lord Jesus, please be with us now.
I hear there's only one exit from this area. It looks like it is, 8 o'clock at night. It has just been at a standstill. No one has been able to get out.
We have 15 to 20 people that are trapped there off of Big Bend Road and Highway 70, and the flames and power lines are keeping anyone from getting into them.
We're okay. We just gotta go.
So I am told they're being rescued. They're having a helicopter, a CHP helicopter coming in, and they're going to airlift these families out.
And then we got out of this dark tunnel, like he called it, and we could see everything was bright, and it was like a normal day in front of us.
And all of a sudden we came out of this dark tunnel, and I was like, oh my God, Christian, we made it.
And I was up there during the evacuation. People ran out of gas because they didn't have their tanks filled up, and they had to abandon their vehicles on site, or they had mechanical issues. In many cases, other citizens allowed those folks to get in their car, and they transported them out. Some pretty amazing, compassionate, and heroic efforts on the part of citizens helping other citizens.
Despite its name, Paradise is far from that right now. With most of the population gone, the local economy is suffering. The mayor of the town says, according to a recent poll, only 51% of the fire victims intend to move back.
That's right. And meanwhile, Paradise is in the process of rebuilding. Wayne Friedman giving us a look at that progress.
If you visit Paradise 6 months after the fire, prepare for an attitude adjustment. It explains Elena and Scott Murray sitting in the bed of their pickup, relishing every move by a cleanup crew.
So this is progress.
It is a lot of progress, yes.
They're the first people on Fern Lane to see debris of their house removed, and it happened only today.
We're very happy to be able to come to our property and not see everything that we lost.
What Paradise lost leaves little to the imagination. 86 people died here, 18,000 structures burned. The trucks, their noise, and their dust fill the air. 6 months now, and residue remains everywhere, but it diminishes. 1,000 rigs a day haul it out of town.
We have a long way to go in terms of the debris removal. Then the environmentalists will come in and recertify the land to be rebuilt on.
Some of those people driving trucks here live here and lost their homes here. Rob Harmon among them.
I mean, what else are you going to do? I guess you could cut and run, but that doesn't seem right.
It is staggering. It is daunting.
Everybody's got to eat.
So when a local business reopens, that's cause for celebration. Mijo's Mexican Food did it by purchasing a food truck because benzene pollution in the water supply has rendered their building unsafe.
They said anywhere from about 8 months or to a year or so.
The patio is almost like old times. The new times, may take a while, but the dead-end attitude, long gone.
We're just gonna look for the future and hope for the best, huh, honey?
Sure. That's all you can do, really. You're the cheerleader, aren't you?
I am.
It's good to see smiles on people's faces even after 6 months right there. And since the Camp Fire 6 months ago to the day, there has been a greater emphasis on that better land management. In fact, 2 days after the fire, the president called the state's forest management poor.
And today, those who oversee land management saw in person the devastation from the fire for the first time. Here's Jerry Lennon.
Representatives from several agencies couldn't believe their eyes.
This is breathtaking. It's incredible. It's tragic.
The one-day tour conducted by CAL FIRE included, most notably, the 8 members of the Board of Forestry and Fire Protection, coming to Paradise to see for the first time a community destroyed.
A CAL FIRE captain told me the message to these board members should be that while everyone loves trees, they shouldn't be hugged so tightly, especially when people's safety and lives could be in jeopardy.
Kelly Jane DeAnda of the Butte Fire Safe Council put it more delicately.
The thing that we're concerned about is increasing the pace and scale of the CEQA, which is the California Environmental Quality Act. That slows us down and impedes us from doing forest thinning work.
And I do think you can achieve a balance.
Keith Gillis, the chair of the California Board of Forestry and Fire Protection, said his members can adapt to achieve the desired results.
We need to find a way which is economically feasible to do vegetation management that makes it safer for us to live in the areas that we want to live in the state.
In a tweet 2 days after the fire, the president said that the state's forest management is so poor and that lives were lost because of gross mismanagement of the forests.
My comment on the president's tweet was that the president's comments are at best uninformed.
But while the campfire started and spread because of several factors, DeAnda said a proposed vegetation treatment program has been stalled for 5 years.
We need some relief so that we can get that environmental compliance done to improve our forests.
Will seeing the human effects of the campfire change priorities? Many here hope seeing is believing.